Hey guys, it's Elliot here for Worldwide TV, and I am here with John Kruse and Rod Egan, both co-owners and auctioneers for Worldwide Auctioneers, and we're here starting a walkthrough of this year's Auburn auction. John, Rod, how's it going, guys? Let's talk about some of these awesome cars that we are literally surrounded by and that we get to take a walk through.
I think one of the most important things for everybody to remember is a large majority of the entire auction is no reserve. Cars are selling absolutely to the highest bidder regardless of price. And we've got really good cars. We've been curating this, so we've made it fewer cars, but they're better cars. And that's irrespective of value. So we want to have really nice cars, even if they're in a more affordable range, but everybody can buy stuff, and it's not too late to register. You can bid online, you can bid on the phone, and we just have a lot of good cars and they're gonna sell.
Yep, and if you can't be here in person, we will be live streaming the entire thing on our website, worldwideauctioneers.com, and on our YouTube channel. So find us there if you can't be here in person, but you really want to be here in person.
By far you want to be here in person. There's, John mentioned that most of them are going to be no reserve. One of the cool things that I like about it is the variance in the selection.
Yes,
so people always come to us and they talk about, gee, there's so many genres and eras that people love, and so we try to get some of the very best of each of those. So whether it's an original, still original Chevy, Corvettes, T-Birds.
There's even a BMW down at the end there.
Even a BMW. That's an incredibly low mile Cadillac. A Mercury Woody you hardly ever see. A Mercury Woody like that, and Sunliner convertibles. So this room is some of the cars that are slated to sell tomorrow, Thursday.
Yep.
But we can walk through and go through some more of the Thursday, a bunch of the Friday, and of course Saturday cars, because there's a little bit of something for everybody.
There literally is something for everybody.
The highlight Thursday is the Head Brothers collection. Of course, it's all no reserve,
which is incredible. And
it's always fun to see what other people collected. And while these cars most likely will sell to different folks on Thursday, it's just cool, and you know that somebody took time, attention, and cared about the cars. And those are the kind of cars I like to buy, and I think most people do, because somebody else cared for them. And if I like them, I'm going to care for them too.
Exactly. Well, yeah, look at this selection here. If you pan down, what a great collection of Hudsons. A lot of them similar colors.
Pickup,
but the Hudson pickup is so cool.
All-time favorites, different from all pickups of the era,
and so cool.
Really, really cool.
So it's gonna be mostly no reserve on Thursday. So a lot of great cars are gonna trade hands. Of course, when we hop over to Friday,
right, which we're kind of cruising.
And for our muscle car fans and 50s car fans, the Tom Haig Estate Collection, which is again also all no reserve. We've got, as many of you may have seen, the red, white, and blue Hemi cars, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely.
cool. And he took the time over his collecting career. But this is actually my favorite car in the collection. It's a beautifully restored. I love the colors. You know, the red just pops.
409, correct?
Yeah,
409 4-speed.
Wow.
It's a big boy car.
It's a great car.
That's no joke right here.
It's a great car.
Yeah. Same thing, the Haig collection, you talked about cars that are loved. It's real easy to see. First off, he had great taste.
Yes.
And collected great cars. When you see the Hemis, you see the 409, the A990, a lightweight, which you never see. And then some of these mild customs, some of the early Fords. I mean, he had great taste. They're great cars. Somebody's gonna love them.
When you come to auctions, some people have a concern, and it may even be justified in many cases, where, like, I don't know, maybe it's been sitting around, they don't run, I'm gonna have to mess with it. And still a cool car, but if you're able to talk to our logistics guys that are working on them, moving around, driving them, I mean, these cars are good cars that have been easy for them to move around, and almost every one of them runs well, drives good. Of course, the A990, which is one of the more special cars, is
on the stand
monster.
for a reason. Yeah.
I mean, this thing, when you crank this bad boy up, it is a beast, and it is cool.
No, but like you were saying, John, as we keep walking around here, I can attest personally to the reliability and presentation of these cars. They all run and drive, and I mean, that's pretty unheard of. Most auction companies wouldn't even start one in front of you, let alone move them around or let you be around them in this
No, we're
capacity.
happy to do it. John and I are collectors first and foremost.
Exactly. You guys are car guys.
Love the cars we have. We drive all our stuff, and we expect that everybody else probably wants to drive them too.
A lot of people
So
do.
why
And that's
not?
one of the favorite things of having our own facility and our own campus is that the cars are here. So we've had a lot of collectors, potential bidders come in, and we love registered bidders to not just inspect a car, which everybody should do before they buy a car, but if they want, we can, and the sellers approve, which most of them do, then we'll actually let them test drive, private property.
It's awesome.
Right here.
Unheard of.
And
It's
we've
awesome.
done that a ton. So that's a great thing as you're thinking about maybe buying this time, if you're thinking about selling next time, you can take advantage of this facility and this campus because buyers love it. It's just something you don't get anywhere else.
Absolutely. Well, as we're still looking around in this section of the building, I think these are some more Friday cars, and you again see the eclectic collection here. You got something for everybody. You got a Town and Country over there, a Jaguar E-Type over here with a hard top. I mean, everything is just like, if you don't like pre-war stuff, there's modern stuff. There's a Yenko Corvette behind you. I bet there's tons of people who've never even heard of those or seen one. Yet here it is.
One of my favorites over here is a stock Bronco.
Don't see those
And
very much often.
We've got an epic Resto Mod Bronco that's selling Saturday, but this as being a stock deal, it rolled off the factory, basically just like that. It's neat to see no reserve Vipers, no reserve Mustang Fastbacks, killer Resto Mod, Chevy, beautiful Vets, again, stock, some that are mild customs or Resto Mods.
Yep.
So we've tried to, again, curate it where there are a myriad of cars for everybody's taste.
For sure.
Not just in terms of what year and domestic, foreign, but even within that, cars that are interesting that we would like to have because we figure that's what everybody else wants to have.
Well, I'm sure liking what I see. That's for darn sure. I mean, even just this shot over here, everything from a 54 Corvette to a slant nose Porsche. I mean,
Tesla.
A Tesla coming in.
The
right?
no mile, no mile. That was
Fastest production car in the world when it was built.
And the Superbird, which kind of was the fastest of its time as well.
Yeah,
Even though it's more of a top speed thing, but
And
this
this
one-
one,
look at the difference between you staring at a 70s
know, yeah.
Superbird and a Tesla right there.
Absolutely
Same
wild.
auction.
That's wild. The Superbird is a great driving car. It was restored mechanically to be a well driving car.
That's great.
They aren't always.
Yeah, exactly. I can believe that. Let's keep walking, guys. We've got a lot of cars to cover
Get
here.
some neat, what
But
I would
there's-
call more modern but very collectible BMWs.
Yes, the 850. Yeah,
those are killer
they're
cars.
so cool looking. I mean, what a timeless design.
Some cool trucks. The Dynan Supercharged.
Yes,
This
the
is a
Dynan
great
1M.
car.
These are special enough, but when you put the Dynan anything near it, if you're a BMW person at all, yeah, that is what you want.
Very cool car.
Highly original 912 in such a period correct color. I love it.
Fun to drive.
You like
Yeah.
912s?
And I
you
like
remember
912s.
the other green one we had
Yes,
that you drove for a while?
the 68 for a while, and that thing was awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Phenomenal little road cars.
Yep, another 409
Yep.
Impala.
Another 4-speed too.
Wow.
And this is Friday. We
Yeah,
haven't
we haven't even
gotten
touched
to the
Saturday.
third day.
Yeah. Another Friday car. John, you're a little partial to the Tigers, I know.
Oh,
but
I
there's
love
a nice
Tigers.
Sunbeam Tiger.
It is a righteously restored car, very correct, and as I like to say, the most powerful little sports car you can get. They are so much fun to drive.
It's such a
For
great
the money.
combo.
It's
Little
as good
car
as it
V8.
gets.
I mean, it's hilarious. It's the age-old combo of big power, low weight, it's fast.
Well, it's some of the Ford enthusiasts call them the baby Cobra, right?
Oh,
You got
yeah.
The V8 power and the whole
Absolutely.
body, and it just.
And
They're great.
the striking front end on this Brewster, it is seriously, I think I've seen people come in here and say, what is that? More than a lot of the other cars, because it is a fairly unknown car, and you know, even for car enthusiasts. But it's basically a coach-built Ford by a company that used to do coach building for Rolls-Royce.
Correct.
And I mean, it's just a really neat car. The interior is great. It's a great car to be chauffeured in, but even if you're just driving, you can't beat it. And then look behind us, a highly optioned 1970 Challenger RT convertible with air conditioning.
Well,
Now, I mean,
I really like Mopars. and this is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, that's iconic with the yellow wheels, everything. It is an awesome car. And you know, a lot of these were, you know, ridden hard, put away wet. And it's amazing to see one in, I mean, not only showroom condition.
Very few Challenger convertibles, period.
Very few
Right.
to begin with.
Yeah.
And yeah, let alone one you could practically eat off of any surface in. It's an amazing car. So
Yeah.
And look, we're in another room with even more great cars. Rod, tell us about these two General Motors behemoths behind you.
This one's fantastic. So you see some Indianapolis pace cars in
Sure.
'69, right? Everybody's seen the orange. Killer cars, love those cars. There were 10 that were built and used on the track at Daytona. February 23rd of '69, this is one of them. So you get big block 396, 4-speed, special car.
Wow. And it was actually on the track. So this is an actual pace car, not an appearance
an
package.
actual pace car.
Wow.
Believed to have been one of just 10
Jeez.
that did that. So you start talking about rare cars that you check off you want on a list. This is one of my favorites. Yeah. And well, I know this is one of John's favorites.
Oh, well, Trans Ams are killer.
Yeah.
But a lot of these were driven pretty hard.
Yep.
So to find an original motor numbers car
HO.
that's also 4-speed, killer color.
Oh, the color is amazing.
And spectacular restoration. This is a big time muscle car.
Wow.
I mean, it's what we all want. If you want a Trans Am,
That's
you got to look at this car.
4-speed HO is the most desirable
it literally
of
is.
the year,
Yeah,
right?
that's as
So-
good as it got. That's awesome. Well, let's keep
Yep.
walking around because there's special stuff everywhere the eye can see, really.
Yeah.
Including,
Got a good group of trucks.
there are some
Really
gorgeous
do.
trucks here
Stock
as well.
trucks,
Modded
modified
trucks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they're always fun.
Up against the wall here, I see the Union Jack, and I believe I read a little bit about this car. So it was used to ferry the princess in Jamaica, or actually the Queen.
The Queen.
I'm sorry, the Queen
This-
herself
the
has
Queen's
been in
awesome.
this actual car.
Correct.
I mean, it's not very often you get to see a real royal used vehicle, let alone, I mean, have one up
Correct.
for auction.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
The Queen, especially in today's world, I think most people respect her for her dignified presence and how she lived her life. And so she is deserving of admiration. So it's really cool when we're able to connect people that a lot of people love to an automobile,
Right.
and it makes you stay connected to
Yeah,
those
that's a-
folks. So this is pretty cool, and as we all know, a lot of people really loved and respected her. And it's neat for us to have it. It's selling as many cars.
Again,
no
no
reserve,
reserve.
absolute to the highest bidder regardless of price, which is a fun way
Fantastic.
to buy them.
Right,
which is great.
What about right here? Tell us about this LaSalle. It is gorgeous. I love the way it looks.
Well,
I
Art
mean,
Deco styling
this
is
epitomizes
something everybody loves. And of course, we have a big range of cars here, but we still have some great American pre-war cars, as is this. And these cars have become more and more desired because of their styling.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is look, and you know why.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't take a genius to see, and it's a really good car. There are so few of the 34, 35 LaSalle convertibles. Most folks haven't seen one, and certainly haven't had too many shots at buying one.
No.
Yeah.
So we're super glad to have this, and it'll make somebody super happy Saturday.
For sure. Let's take a little trip over here because two of my favorite cars are together. 2009 Ferrari 599. I just love these iconic look. It's one of the last old school front engine V12
Correct.
Ferraris.
Yes.
This one still has the single clutch automated manual. After this, they were all dual clutches. This one has a little bit more of that raw feel that the F12 and the 812
Yes.
after that don't exactly have. Not that they're bad cars, but there's
Different.
something about this that really gets my blood pumping. But right behind it is something way different. The 1930 Model A Ford Roadster pickup, which is something I think they should bring back, convertible pickup trucks. I mean, this thing is so cool, presents so well, and I mean, I just think it's a neat truck. I mean, Model A's are great. You can't go wrong with a Model A. They're easy to work on. Parts available everywhere. it's a good way to get into the enthusiast hobby. And honestly, out of all the body styles of Model A, I think this is probably my favorite. And here's one.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're so simple to drive.
Exactly.
Incredibly easy to work on. So, like you said, if you want to start getting into the hobby at some level,
this is the
these
perfect
are
way to do
great.
it.
They're fun, and like you said, you can buy parts for these anywhere if you ever need them.
Yep.
And they're phenomenal, and they'll get as many looks as that Ferrari.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, if not more, especially
This
because
is a high quality example,
Yeah.
and of course, it's no reserve.
Oh, there you go. Well, let's look at some other stuff. Of course, we have this beautiful Dodge Phoenix, which is just a massive car.
You don't
But
see them very
so
often,
cool.
Hardly
and
ever.
Yeah, it's
they're
got that
usually not in
translucent
great shape.
speedometer. It's so neat. Behind over here is how you would get a pace car if you ordered it from the dealership.
Correct. Yes. What I mentioned before, the usually seen the official pace car of Indy.
Yep.
Right. So that's actually one of my favorite variants and configurations. I love the houndstooth interior.
Yes.
The colors are instantly iconic, recognizable immediately, and great cars to drive.
Yeah,
Great cars to drive.
Absolutely fantastic. Again, with the mixture, we've got a pretty new Bentley Continental GTC Speed, which is the fast one.
The big boy.
A beautiful Yenko clone, and a 1963 Corvette that had a previous owner for 55 years. Now, I don't even care what kind of car it is, let alone one as special as this. That means this thing was loved, guys. 55 years of ownership. That is
Very, very cool. And the split window is one of the cars I like to refer to as a crossover car.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an American car collector. You don't have to be a Corvette collector. That iconic design transcends
It does.
the boundaries of a particular
Yeah, you could be a
country.
hardcore Ford guy, and you're still gonna like
Yeah.
it.
Well, I know several clients that collect European cars that
Still
either
have
have one or have one on their list to acquire, because like John said, they're the perfect
They
crossover
do.
car.
They
I believe they're going
transcend.
to continue to appreciate year over year. So I think they're great investments, but they're really cool looking cars.
Absolutely.
Before we go see a bunch more of the Saturday and Saturday night cars,
have
we
a little
should
bit of the inner
show
workings.
people how to register to bid.
We should.
Maybe we can walk them through the bidder edge area,
I think that's a great idea.
give them a quick heads up. So when you show up, you come through, parking all over the place, easy to park here for everybody. If you are interested in buying a car, you can come right in here. This is the bidder registration area, and everything's just getting set up now. Tomorrow we're going to be pretty packed. Get in early if you can. Avoid lineups as quick as and efficient as our whole crew is. Get here as early as you can. So this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4 areas where you can walk up. It's a very simple process. Sign a couple documents, and you immediately get to start having fun, which is through that door.
Through that door.
And here's where the kaleidoscope really starts to
This
take shape.
This is as if we hadn't seen enough cool cars already. Right here, we've kind of entered the main floor for the main event, which is Saturday. And I mean, immediately when you walk in, you see big blockbuster cars behind us. I mean, you spoke about the Resto Mod Bronco before. Here it is, Coyote V8 power. How about the Delahaye behind us? Kind of hard to get around, but absolutely stunning vehicle. I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah, custom body, Ghia bodied, one of only 3 ever built. Phenomenal.
Dual
We saw the
cowl.
Tesla way back there.
Yep.
Let me tell
Oh,
you
yes.
something, folks. Electric
thing's-
cars are not a new deal.
That's right.
1918, this Roush and Lang car is
It's so
phenomenal,
cool.
spectacular
And
car.
if you look in there, it doesn't even have a steering wheel like normal. It's got like a yoke.
Yeah.
So it's so neat. I mean, yeah, people think electric cars came out in like 2016. They were a little bit 100 years before then.
And we talked about crossover cars earlier, people that collect cars from all over. This, one of my favorite designed American cars. Several of these in European car collections as well. Iconic. This is one of a handful that are originally supercharged.
Yes.
And it is considered in the ACD circles as likely the finest one there is. So
I believe that
if
is.
you want the best of the best,
And
here.
in this room, what we've tried to do is have best-in-class cars. And
Well,
you
it shows.
can look right here, and each of what they are the
Fuel-injected
fuel-injected
63.
factory Daytona blue red interior, arguably the most collectible configuration of a split-window Corvette,
Absolutely.
period. We just wanted great stuff.
Yeah.
And as Rod mentioned, arguably the best supercharged sportsman.
It's one of my
Period.
favorite cars, if not my favorite car of the whole auction right there. Of course, anytime something's on a pedestal, you know it's special. It needs to be referenced. Tell us a little bit about this Aston Martin.
So this Aston, certain things that make all cars special and important, what sets them apart from others. Well, first and foremost, you want originality and history, which this is. So this is one of only, I think, 84 left drive cars built and one of only 64 with the SU carburetors and that kit. So that package together makes this probably one of the most desirable Astons of the day.
For sure.
Original engine, chassis, body, all of it numbers matching, documented. So you're kind of at a level where you have a car that's a phenomenal sports car to drive.
Yep.
And it checks all the boxes for originality, quality, desirability.
Collectability. all that stuff.
Collectability for sure. That's a car that, again, in any collection
Would
looks
stand.
fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I'd
Yeah.
highly agree. Speaking of special, though, John, you want to tell us about the Lincoln? Or is this more
Hey,
of a
we
rock?
talk about
'Cause
having,
this is
anybody can
crazy.
talk about this, but
Yeah.
pre-war American cars are something I love.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what matters about this car. Everybody that walks into this room loves it.
It's incredible.
It is an absolute beautiful presence, which I'm choosing those words specifically. It really is an elegant, beautiful car.
Yeah.
And another thing I love about this car is not only could this grace a lot of show fields, it's been at Pebble Beach, but this car drives really good.
See?
So there
And that's
are
something you'd normally never know.
yeah, and the Cord that we just talked about, this Lincoln, these are drive it to the Concours
Yeah.
field and then
Ready.
roll on and
You're
compete
They're
ready.
that good.
Yep.
type cars.
Yeah.
That's like, it's
And-
something
and-
you don't get anywhere else other
And
than worldwide.
you talk about custom bodied cars in the Lincoln world. This is really special. I mean, this door is almost 5 feet long.
Yeah.
It's massive.
My goodness.
It goes forever. And
I
of course,
love this.
the teardrop
stuff. Yes,
steps.
that is one of the coolest, most beautiful
Super awesome.
touches on a
Yes.
pre-war car I've ever seen.
Correct. So
Oh.
you're I don't want to say it's a one-off, but it's
pretty
really
much
it's just
is.
about.
Before walking
Uh,
too far, though, as a Corvette guy, the L88 needs to be mentioned.
Yes.
The specialness of this cannot be overstated. It can't be understated either. These are the most desirable of the Stingray generation. I mean, this is the biggest horsepower in everything, and this car is absolutely perfect. It even has its hard top, which is something not a lot of these had, whether they were an L88 or not. And I think that there's fewer than 40 L88s ever,
It is.
and let alone left.
It's one of those very short list of
Yes.
blue chip muscle cars of all muscle.
Right.
And beautiful car, great car. I kind of, in addition to this and a lot of these cars though, Auburn is noted Labor Day weekend for having some famous cars or celebrity cars.
Sure.
And we looked at the Queen's limousine.
Yes.
This car I love because it is an iconic 37,
Zephyrs are already cool
12,
enough.
Right.
12 Zephyr. This was featured in the movie The Green Hornet 1940.
Oh.
So this car is a movie star in and of itself, and it is regarded as the best by Ford, who used this car to do their 100th year anniversary commemoration of the Zephyr. And
Lincoln.
we welcome everybody that comes in here.
Well, that's
But there have been some pretty serious restorers crawl all over this.
I'm
This
sure.
is a killer car.
if Lincoln Ford used this as themselves as the base of which to base a model on, what higher standard can you apply to a Zephyr? That's
They picked a good one.
yeah. We've got again a little bit of everything. Right, we've got the Aventador.
Which you drove?
I did drive it earlier today. Still
Yes.
nuts. Still a great sounding car.
Yes.
This one's been modified quite a bit to the tune of it even has underglow, and
Yes.
in the engine bay actually glows blue. So a lot of nice touches on it actually. You can keep going down that way. It's up to you guys. There's the GT right here.
Yeah,
we can
I mean,
zip
there's-
around. You
it's
can't go
never
wrong.
ending.
Yeah.
Pasha Red 356, you
Yes.
hardly ever see that color. I don't know production numbers on that color, but it is one of the rare colors. It's incredible. You hardly ever see them.
His Cadillac's
Another-
beautiful, also highly optioned. One of my other favorite cars at the show, the 05 Ford GT. with all 4 options, extremely low mileage, and this yellow color is the least produced color, so the rarest color.
Yep.
And I mean, you're talking about a car that keeps going up in value, has been instantly collectible, instantly recognizable. I mean, like I said, I've been drawn to it ever since I got here.
Within this series of GTs, obviously the options and miles are a big deal, and the color's the other when it comes to value. And so I think this is a really good car.
A really good car.
And not only is it fun to drive, but from an investment standpoint,
you can't go wrong.
They just
really.
keep
pretty
eking
solid.
up. And they should, because they're a blast.
But they're also good cars. You can drive these. They are not fragile. I mean, you can actually just drive this car.
Yeah, they were built to drive.
Exactly.
Of course, we go from this generation of GT
to
this generation of GT.
Now, there's a lot special about this one.
Oh, my goodness. You know, we like, as collectors, to buy something that is unique even within a short or small class.
Sure.
And so these cars are spectacular, but the last year, they updated the motor, they got the titanium parts.
Yep, and this one's a carbon.
This is a carbon,
Yes.
which means this is the lightest, fastest. And my favorite part, though, is the story of the design team engineer who was part of the Le Mans race team that won,
That's
and
so
then
cool.
was on the design team that actually designed the car. And we've got some videos out there. If you haven't met Russell, click on our videos and watch that. It's really exciting stuff. But there's a lot of unique features that he got. So this is really a one-of-a-kind, right out of the birthplace of the GT.
And selling
I
with
think,
this is the watch that only
he's
the
got
design
the,
team bought.
that's the race team.
Yeah, that only they got.
The race team watch and the
Yeah.
kit.
The
that
kit,
you
yeah,
got
the
to
carbon
pick,
fiber kit that you can.
which
yeah.
the owner designed.
So cool.
So it's just, I mean, it's a killer car.
It's a already.
Spectacular colors.
Even if it was a regular new GT, but this one is far
not.
from it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's spectacular. But again, switching gears, going back almost 100 years, talk about what I would call the cover car of this event, the Isata.
It's one of those cars that is, I don't know how to say it other than striking everywhere you look.
Yes.
The attention to detail, Castagna body. So you're talking about custom
Yes.
coach builders again.
Each one of these was bespoke, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So there's no two are alike already. So, but also pre-war Italian car. I mean, really, that's pretty much it.
Almost unheard of.
Yeah, it's almost unheard
And
of.
I mentioned detail, etchings in the lights.
Wow.
You see the running boards, like
Every angle is so gorgeous.
every angle.
I particularly love the windshield.
the
So
windshield's
cool.
phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And here's another car, recent restoration. So we talked about Pebble Beach earlier.
Yeah, this is
If you
ready.
want to join the big boy club and get a car on the lawn just about anywhere, and we can't guarantee anything because we aren't the committee.
But who would they
that
be to turn
does
an
that.
Isata down?
But you truly are talking about a world-class car
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Again, original engine, body, chassis, unheard of, history from new, been in a couple of very, very prominent collections.
Yeah.
From a great collection right now. And it's new to the show world. So if you're somebody that wants to get on the show circuit, announce yourself with a presence, this car is a passport to do exactly
this would
that.
be arriving on scene with
And
bang,
because
for
there
sure.
are, I don't want to say none, but because there are so few of these, it's another car where, it's a rolling investment. You put your money into something you can enjoy.
And
on a
there
daily
aren't
basis.
any of these floating around. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, I've never seen one in person. It's just absolutely incredible. I've learned so much about these cars just because of this one, and it's so cool to see it in person. I mean,
the detail almost never ends.
no, everywhere
The
you
longer
look,
you look.
it's
You could do a 30-minute video on this car.
easily. It's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And then, of course, behind you, you got the amazing muscle car collection,
Yeah.
headlined by the Shelby Hertz GT twins, both the coupe and convertible, 1 year apart, but the same Shelby identification number, whatever their version of a VIN.
Yep.
Correct?
Car number
So they
39,
are
I
actual
believe,
bookends.
329.
Or 329.
So they're bookends of each other. Selling as a pair, which is not something we do
don't
that
do
often.
that very often, but along with the seller, it's tough to get matching numbers together on
If
different
you split these
cars.
up, they'd never get together again. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. And as Rod and I have owned one of these, and we rented some when they were out. And so these cars to be just under 10,000 miles, you know, spoilers, stripes, like they're in great shape compared to a lot of their
these are
counterparts.
And you know, the genesis of the Hertz Shelbys
is the original Rent-A-Racer from the 66,
right?
Or when they started, yeah.
Right. Hard to find one of those that has its original motor, because back in the day, literally people would
swap
rent
them out, yeah.
race them, swap them out with the regular 289, send it back to Hertz, and they kept the hypo Shelby motor. Now, and I remember John mentioned we rented those. The amount of documentation we had to sign that says this part is original, this part is original, this part, it literally was 3 extra pages of, if you return this car with any of this stuff not exactly the way
my memory's a little hazy. The last time Rod and I rented one of those, but my recollection would lead me to want, say, this car rather than the one we were driving that day.
Sure.
Well,
just
depends how
you know, I mean,
if you want something that was really tested, you might want the car
battle tested.
You might want the car that we drove.
But this is a cool set.
It's such a cool set.
It's great
with the great backdrop.
And you've got Shelby, Boss 302,
all the hits, even an SL
the
mixed in
red.
back there.
Of course, yes, which color it worked.
Yeah.
Right. It's obviously not muscle, but
who doesn't like a plum crazy Mopar?
Plum crazy, and this car.
So
I
cool.
mean, underneath, this is nice as the top. Paperwork on the Torino. This car.
The Torino is great.
Is very rare with all of the options. It's got, again, super high quality car. And I know I've said it 3 or 4 times, but the quality of the cars is what we focused on for this event. And there's just good stuff.
It's
good stuff
everywhere you look.
Whatever your price range, right? So this would be in the lower price range. If you want to spend in the 7 figures, we've got several examples of that. So truly something for everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's all killer.
But when you look at supercar production, this is low. There aren't very many of them compared to even Enzo's, F40, some of the great Ferraris.
This has quickly become one of the upper tier of that sort of early supercar things. And like I said, from a manufacturer not known for supercars.
And undergoing
3,000 hour restoration on this one, I believe.
Most of these aren't restored.
No. Yeah, I mean,
so for this one to have gone through that is pretty cool, and it's ready to go. You can watch videos of us driving it.
It's very well documented online as well, the restoration process. So it's not just one of those, hey, it's been restored. It's like you can watch it be restored. It's pretty incredible. I mean, this is probably one of the finest M1s in existence.
Certainly that's available that you can buy.
It's available.
You're right there.
And it's here Saturday.
The other reason I wanted to walk over here is because we're close to the document station.
That is important. We should
and
check that out.
while, of course, we are always highly encouraging everyone to inspect the cars ahead of time, we keep the documents. So you've got paperwork,
binders.
You've got property, whether that's side curtains, books, manuals, tools, hard tops. And so we love to have everybody come and look and do your homework before you bid on something, so you know exactly what you're getting. And a lot of these cars have a lot of documentation, a lot of great stuff that comes with them.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for the thorough tour. I mean, obviously we couldn't touch on everything because there's just so many. But I mean, as you see, we've got an amazing group of offerings, both Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We didn't even touch on the memorabilia in there, which will be happening. So if you like memorabilia, believe me, there's a bunch of that for you as well. But thank you guys for watching this tour. John, Rod, thank you for giving the tour. And we will see you guys all Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you can't be here in person, remember we will be live streaming the entire thing on worldwideauctioneers.com and on our YouTube page. So check it out, come say hi in the live chat. Let us know what you like, let us know what you want to see. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you at Auburn.